Welcome back, Alpha Hunters. Hope everybody is having a very marvelous Monday. Hopefully, you are having a great day today. All right. Well, kind of mentioned, last week, probably at the spot where we start to see some bullishness. And boy, are we! Look at today's move. SPY up 1.25% right now. We had a nice little decent gap up here. Oops, I just hit the wrong button. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. We did have about a 0.5% gap up on the SP 500, the SPY there, to start the day. Nice little pullback, just rolled over, kind of retested lower there for the first hour and 45 minutes, and then since it's pretty much been bullish ever since. Okay, so nice little run here, nice little extension we've had really here over the past 30 minutes. Nice moves here. So definitely gonna be curious to see how this looks on the daily time frame. But yeah, SPY intraday looking pretty good. Qs, look at the Qs actually coming into that 200, SMA on a 5-minute time frame. So yeah, be curious to see what happens here. But we do know the Qs were having massive breakdowns last week. Let me just get off the 100, 200. There we go. Qs don't look too indifferent. Actually got briefly negative there for about 20 minutes or so this morning. Before it then got on its horse and got on its rally, currently up 1.25%. Looks really kind of similar. IWM, nice gap up here. We had a 0.6% gap up roughly. Nice little quick pullback, got negative, bounced, all within that 30 minutes. All within 30 minutes. And then kind of had a little bit of a pullback here, and then it got on its horse and started running. Currently up about 1.4%. IWM looking pretty good there. All right. The DIA is currently up over 1%. Nice little extension here recently. Yeah, they also had a gap up, pulled back, nope, didn't get briefly negative. Got basically neutral, not quite. DIA then went on a rip. There you go. Yep. RSP, nice gap up, pulled back. Kind of looks like the IWM. Quick pullback, bounce, kind of rollover, consolidation. And it's been running pretty good, up 1.13% on the day. So let me turn on the long terms here, because yeah, this is a pretty good spot to see the RSP kind of bounce. It's kind of what we did. Nice little gap up, kind of gapped up above several previous day highs. Maybe even going back to Wednesday, kind of Wednesday's highs of last week. That was kind of where we gapped to today. Nice little quick pullback and bounce. So we have kind of gone in between two levels today. We went down to the 100 SMA and we bounced then off of that level and then went all the way to the 10 EMA. So we might be in a consolidation sideways. I definitely wouldn't want to be bullish right here, right now, especially on the intraday time frame. I would want to see how this kind of sets up here, maybe over the next day or two. Maybe if it kind of comes back down, consolidates, and maybe looks to push up towards the second half of the week, I'd be a little bit more bullish on that. But for now, I also think the market's kind of in a do or die mode this week with big tech earnings. Yeah, big tech earnings. Woo. Nice bounce here on the DIA. I think the DIA could probably move a little bit higher, probably up to these lows, like this 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of spot. So up here around maybe the mid, like 385 area, probably makes sense to see maybe the DIA maybe move up to that level maybe tomorrow or so, maybe Wednesday. Yeah, I would expect the DIA to continue a little bit higher. What about the RSP? The RSP didn't really. Maybe this level, maybe up here around 163.5 or so. That low. Maybe here in the next couple of days. We'll have to see about that one. IWM could definitely make a run to this level right here, because obviously we had a resistance level there before. We had a support there also. So maybe if we bounce up to there into that general area of the like 199, 200 area. I would imagine that spot gets probably met with sellers pretty aggressively, bearish players pretty aggressively. Anyways, IWM though looking pretty good. Past couple of days as well, Thursday and Friday, the IWM was actually doing pretty good. So the IWM is kind of telling you, hey, like they might have a decent week this week. The Qs, yeah, we know Qs had a pretty good breakdown there on Friday. Nice bounce back day today. Kind of talked about that scenario Thursday, Friday. Like if we don't bounce off the 100, we look for that quick breakdown. It probably happens, but that might just be possibly a head fake. Kind of looks like that's what it's going to give us now. It's not like a all clear be bullish here because we did break this 100. So now you're going to have a long-term moving average. It's now going to be a resistance level. So we might come back higher and just kind of hang out, and then maybe we drop off towards the end of this week, maybe going into next week. Well, just man, that's kind of a tough one. I mean, I get it, and the reason why it's tough, the SPY did get kind of close to that 100 SMA, but it didn't get there, right? It didn't quite get there. So yeah, if obviously we're clearly seeing the bounce here today, right? So if we break down this past Friday's low, last week's low on the Qs and SPY, I mean, just expect us to keep going lower. I would just be willing to give this a little bit more time. See how this sets up here over the next couple of days, right? Next couple of days. So that's about all I really got to say on the Qs and SPY. Just we're not going to just rip out of here. I mean, we're going to have moving averages come down. They're going to be resistances as well. So, if you are buying here, then, I mean, as long as that's your plan, that's what you're following, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with also following your plan. Take a look at the VIX. VIX is dropping off pretty good. That's, I mean, for how much the VIX is dropping off today, I mean, we could continue to see some bearishness come in the rest of this week. That's just, yeah, I mean, it'll be really interesting to see if we consolidate sideways. If we consolidate sideways on the market this week, that would be an interesting look, especially if the VIX continues to drop off. The DXY, just kind of hanging out, not really doing a whole lot, just kind of consolidating. Yeah, not really doing a whole lot. A little bit of an upper wick there. Gold finally breaking it. Man, down 2.5% today. Jeez. Take a look at those futures. Yeah, look at those futures just drop off. For how much the dollar's not moving, how much yields are not really moving at this point in time, I'd be willing to say that gold probably might be on a little bit of a pullback. So let's look at gold futures. But yeah, GLD, I'd probably just expect this to have a little bit more of a pullback here. Yeah. Take a look at yields. Yields are not really doing a whole lot. Had a little bit of a higher open, but very small kind of day today. Kind of like a consolidation day. I mean, if that continues to happen here over the next couple days, I mean, we'll probably see yields push higher towards the second half of this week. So we'll just have to wait and see. By the way, the DXY, real quick. Yeah, we're still not even close to that 10 EMA. So we might continue to consolidate here on the DXY. All right. 10 and 2 inversion. See if it continues this uptrend. It is bouncing a little bit today. HYG, yeah. HYG bouncing a little bit. The thing that's going to be very concerning is you're getting really close to some previous kind of support levels or whatnot. So obviously you're coming into that 20 EMA, getting really close to that. It's also where this lower wick was back on February 13th. So yeah, if you play that bullish off that around that 200 level, I mean, depending on what your time horizon is, I don't think I would want to be much more bullish there. LQD, kind of just consolidating sideways as well. Okay. Yeah, not a whole lot going on here. Moving averages coming down. They might just push it down later on. We had a pretty good breakdown last week. Well, 2 previous weeks on yields, so they might be resting this week. TLT, nice little gap down, still kind of just in the sideways consolidation channel. So if we see yields pump higher here in the next couple days, TLT will probably be dropping off. But that was kind of that scenario that we had talked about before. Previously in the TLT, right here, where we had this breakdown. We've got briefly below it. We had a few days where it kind of came back into that channel where we had this little down channel. Broke that down, had a little bit of a come back into the channel, and then it just waterfalled off. Got really below that channel. So maybe that's kind of the scenario that we're in, where we broke it down, then we would come back into it, and then we'll just break it down later pretty hard. So we'll have to see what yields look like this, definitely the second half of this week. And I mean, I'd imagine TLT will, LQD be responding in kind. All right, let's take a look at that sector rotation. All right, so what is moving across the sectors? Well, energies got hit really on the open. They got hit pretty hard. So did materials. Okay, interesting. Financials actually leading the day. Also, that's about the only outperforming sector. Everything, there's some in line. So you got XLK in line, industrials kind of in line right there. But everything else is underperforming. You got energies, staples, utilities, and healthcare underperforming. And then the biggest underperformers are real estate, discretionaries, communications, and materials at the lower end of the day. So energies, even though it dropped off to kind of start the day, I mean, it bounced back pretty quick to kind of get back in line with the market. It's kind of been running with the market for the past couple hours. All right, so if we take out the gap, energies. So energies basically just had a pretty good gap down today. So XLE getting bought up throughout the day. Financials, utilities, staples, materials, all kind of doing pretty good there. Industrials and healthcare, a little bit of outperformance there, not too much. Real estate, tech, and discretionary is a little bit underperformance there. Communications, XLC. So go look at the Alphabet and Meta areas, and you'll probably see what's going on there. All right, so let's take a look at some crude oil. So Friday was a pretty volatile day on crude oil here. We had or it looked like the daily picture had a little bit more of a volatility to it, I guess, than what this is showing. Oh, never mind. This is Friday, right? No, that's Thursday. Oh, that is Friday. This is Friday's trading day. Okay, so yeah, we had a nice little pump Thursday night, but that was Friday's trading day. Then it came all the way back down. Okay. I think that was probably a lot to do with Israel and that kind of stuff going on over there in the Middle East. Anyways, not too much kind of going on here, but it doesn't exactly look great. The fact that you throw this huge upper wick. I mean, look how tall that is, and it came all the way back down. That doesn't look great. You know, whether it's geopolitical or whatever, it doesn't matter. Just the fact that there was nobody continued to support up at these levels, and it came all the way back down by the end of the day on Friday. That does not look great there for crude oil. Gasoline, a little bit of a breakdown today. Also have a little bit of upper wick from Friday. Okay. Heating oil, yeah, trying to bounce a little bit today. All right, doesn't look too bad.